And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in that land, and he began to be in want.
Hold on a second. You stop?
Dang. Hey, y'all don't be reading further in the story, man, trying to get it. Y'all wait on us. All right.
Close them or put them down.
All right, close your books, put your pencils down.
Remember, in this race, you can't cheat.
See this part right here. Oh, that's what it is. See, I knew. I read it. I think it was the whole time.
Still. Okay. All right, what we get on?
I'll start at verse 14 again.
Okay.
And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in that land. And he began to be in want. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country.
He did what?
He went and joined himself to a citizen of that country.
So he is made a league with these other people. He's joined himself to these people. Keep that in mind. Read.
And he sent them into the fields to feed swine.
To do what?
To feed swine.
An Israelite and swine. Does that mix? Sent him into the fields to feed swine. Read.
And he would fain.
He was what?
He would fain have filled his belly with the husk that the swine did eat.
So he's so hungry that he's tempted to eat the slop that the pigs are eating. Let me ask you something. Why didn't he just go back home? Pride. So the way that he left, he was in what? He was in his pride. You know what I'm saying? Talking crazy. So to go back, what do you think he's feeling inside? Would the word affliction apply to this? Would you be afflicted inside to go back after the way that you left from there? So when he spent all his money up, he goes and joins these people, and he's so broke that he's out here with the pigs, and he's tempted to eat the slop. So there's a thing out in Cali called Skid Row. Anybody heard that? Yeah. Skid Row. So a lot of the people went out to California chasing their dreams that they was going to make it big. And they've been out there for 20 years. I got another audition tomorrow. But it's millions of other people that went out there chasing the same dream. Why don't they just go back home? Too pride. Too much pride. I gotta make y'all think I'm still doing good, rather than just get up and go back home. But when you get back home, what do you think your people are gonna say to you? Told your stupid behind don't go out there, right? And what you think you're going out there for? You can't even act. You can't even rap worth a quarter and going out there. Told you don't go out there. Guess what? Nobody don't want to hear that. Nobody don't want to hear that. So all of these things gotta be going through his brain. I'd rather work here than go back and hear them talking about me. Read what you know about that.
And when he came to himself.
And when he what?
And when he came to himself.
And when he came to himself, what does that mean? He came to his senses. So right now he's a homeless guy. He's a bum, as the world would call him. He done went from riches to being a bum. Right? So he went from the high to the low, from far off. He waiting on him to come back. He been expecting him. So when your children do something that you deem as bad, even though you don't want them to go through the stuff, you're waiting on them to come back. You'll be back. Go ahead out there and get your head and split it. You'll be back. Right?
She's going to need me for
With the stitches, you will be back. He knew he was coming back, and he was actually waiting on him. Hold on, let me look at something. So again, this man has 2 sons. We brought up something else like a week ago about just because you raise your children right, they may stray off, right? Oh, we got right there. Give 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse 1. Like Trav said with Abraham, it says, I know that you're going to raise your house right. But almost every one of Abraham's seeds went off to the wayside. And we know Abraham was righteous. And we know he taught them the right thing. But they still went off.
1 Samuel 8:1. And it came to pass when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel.
He did what?
He made his sons judges over Israel.
Read.
Now the name of his firstborn was Yoel. The name of his second, Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba. And his son walked not in his ways.
They did what?
Walked not in his ways.
Even though he taught them the right thing, they didn't walk in what?
His ways.
They didn't walk in his ways. So, go back to Luke. Who do y'all think that this father really is? Absolutely. Read it from where you left off.
Start at verse 20. And he arose and came to his father. Luke 15.
Luke 15. So, this shows us that this father was a great man. He had something to even be able to give them. Me Proverbs 13:22.
A good man, a good man, a good man, a good man, leave an inheritance to his children's children,
to the grandchildren. So it shows you that this father is actually on his job. He's doing his thing, that he actually got something to leave to them. So this is a big thing that we actually want to do. We want to attain wealth, that we can leave something to our grandchildren.
So you know shamers out there.
Yes, the bum doctrine is not a good one.
Say it one more time.
The bum doctrine is not a good one. Right? Go back to Luke.
Luke chapter 15 and verse 20. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion.
Had what? Had what?
Compassion.
He had what?
Compassion.
He had compassion. So did he run out there and say, don't come back here if you ain't got my money? I need my stuff. No, don't come out there with that. You come out there with compassion. The opposite of what most of us would really have. was saying in contempt, talking down. You hurt me. Read.
And ran and fell on his neck.
He did what?
Ran and fell on his neck.
So, in our actual culture, it was not dignified for a man to run. But the father is running. You would actually expect this more from a mother to see the son and run out there to him. But this father does this. He runs out there. Remember, this boy is smelling like pigs. He's in rags. He stink the whole nine. He weak and tired. Look at your little fat self. It ain't gonna work. It don't work. Exactly. They still gonna do what they're doing. It ain't gonna work until this person comes to themselves. Whether they're on drugs, alcohol, whatever it be, once they come to themselves, then it will hit. No matter what we say or do, it don't work. Read.
And when he came to himself, he said, how many hired servants of my father's have bread enough to spare?
Even the servants at my house, at my father's house, is eating better than me. These people would be beneath him, below him. Read.
And I perish with hunger.
And I do what?
And I perish with hunger.
And I perish with.
Increased are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness.
Hunger. Read.
I will arise and go to my father.
I will do what?
Arise and go to my father.
What is he showing right now? He's being humble. Read.
I will arise and go to my father and will say to him, Father, I have sinned against Shammai and before you.
I have did what?
I have sinned against Shammai and before you.
He says, I have sinned before Shammai. That means that his sins is so many that they have stacked up to heaven. Just like he said with Babylon, that the sins are stacked up to heaven. They reached up to heaven. He's drenched in sin in what he's doing. Read.
And am no more worthy to be called your son. Make me as one of your hired servants.
So right here he says, I'm not even worthy to be your son no more. This is showing humility. Not false humility, but real humility. He has reached the bottom. Read.
And he arose and came to his father. But when he had yet a great way off.
When he what?
When he was yet a great way off.
When he was what?
When he was yet a great way off.
What happened?
His father saw him.
His father what?
Saw him.
What does this show you that his father saw him while he was a great way off? He'd been waiting for him the whole time. But remember when he left, he basically told his father, I wish you was dead. Again, how would this make you feel? They got an insurance policy on you. I really want you to die so I can collect the money. Right? But right here, his father actually waiting on him. He see him from far off. He waiting on him to come back. He been expecting him. So when your children do something that you deem as bad, even though you don't want them to go through the stuff, you're waiting on them to come back. You'll be back. Go ahead out there and get your head split it. You'll be back. Right?
You don't need me for it.
With the stitches, you will be back. He knew he was coming. Nothing else. All the work part, throw it out. You're going to see this. Read that again.
But the father said unto him, and the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against Shammai.
Confess.
And in your sight am no more worthy to be called your son. bring forth the best robe.
One of the best robes.
The best robe.
He said, bring forth what robe?
The best robe.
So the best robe would belong to who? So what is he about to put on the son? Putting on him the Father. So he's covering the nakedness of his shame. Right here, guess what the shame is going to? It's going to him. So when he was on the stake, being beat. So again, this man has 2 sons. We brought up something else like a week ago about just because you raise your children right, they may stray off, right? Oh, we got right there, give 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse 1. Like Trav said with Abraham, it says, I know that you're going to raise your house right. But almost every one of Abraham's seeds went off to the wayside. And we know Abraham was righteous. And we know he taught them the right thing. But they still went off.
1 Samuel 81. And it came to pass when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel.
He did what?
He made his sons judges over Israel.
Read.
Now the name of his firstborn was Yoel. The name of his second, Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba. And his son walked not in his ways.
They did what?
Walked not in his ways.
Even though he taught them the right thing, they didn't walk in what?
His ways.
They didn't walk in his ways. So, go back to Luke. Who do y'all think that this father really is? Right here. We can't get him to jump. Absolutely. Read it from where you left off.
Start at verse 20. And he arose and came to his father. Luke 15.
Luke 15. So, this shows us that this father was a great man. He had something to even be able to give him. But let's see. Finish it out.
For this my son was dead, and is alive again.
And is what?
And is alive again.
And is alive again. So, when he went and joined himself to the citizens of the place, that means he had to buy housing from them. But previously, he was a part of his father's house. He didn't have to do any of this stuff. So when you get housing from the system, what is it called that you take? What you pay a month? A mortgage. What's the root word to mortgage? What is it up? Dead. So when you did that mortgage, you were taking a pledge of death. So he's telling you, my son was a part of the system, and he came from in it. He was dead. Now he is alive because he's coming back to me. This is why y'all says you're in the world, but don't be of the world. So he was dead because he was in it.
His found children came and drew near to the house.
Grandchildren. So it shows you that this father is actually on his job. He's doing his thing, that he actually got something to leave to them. So he didn't go off. He stayed at home. He don't sound like a real good brother. I feel bad. I used to think that this brother was right. I used to feel kind of... Let's go back to verse 1.
Luke 15:1. Then drew near unto him all the publicans.
All the who?
All the publicans.
All the publicans and who?
And sinners.
And who?
And sinners.
All the publicans. We want to attain wealth, that we can leave something to our own.
Verse 28. And he was angry.
And he was what?
And he was angry.
And he was angry. so they having a party, right? Jump to verse 10.
Verse 10. Likewise, I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the Malachim of Elohim over one sinner that repent.
That what?
Over one sinner that repent.
So he don't wait till I get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 sinners. Every time one sinner repents.
Shamers out there.
Inviting the scribes and Pharisees to come into the kingdom. All go back to Luke.
Luke chapter 15 and verse 20. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion.
And that what? Had what?
Compassion.
He had what?
Compassion.
He had compassion.
Genesis chapter 20, verse 17. So Abraham prayed unto Elohim, and Elohim healed Abimelech.
He did what?
Healed Abimelech.
He healed Abimelech. Who was Abimelech? King of the Philistines. What couldn't happen with them at this point? He couldn't have children. Read.
And Abraham prayed unto Elohim, and healed Abimelech, and his wife, and his maidservant, and they bare children.
And they did what?
They bare children.
Now this is before Sarah gets pregnant. So most of the women would be like, you out there praying for them and we ain't even got nothing.
You ain't even praying for me.
So right here is showing that Abraham, I need my stuff. No, you don't come out there with that. You come out there with compassion, the opposite of what most of us would really have. With the shame and contempt, talking down. You hurt me. Read.
And ran, and fell on his neck.
He did what?
Ran, and fell on his neck.
So, in our actual culture, it was not dignified for a man to run. But the father is running. You would actually expect this more from a mother to see the son and run out there to him. But this father does this. He runs out there. Remember, this boy is smelling like pigs. He's in rags. He stink the whole 9. He weak and tired. All of this stuff. Keep this in mind, because he ain't been eating in the last couple of days. Read.
He had compassion, and ran, and fell on his neck, and kissed him.
He did what?
And kissed him.
Fell on his neck and kissed him. Remember, he's been eating with the swine. Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 12.
Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 12. And you shall eat it as barley cakes, and you shall bake it with the dung that come out of man.
With what?
With the dung that come out of man.
With the what?
With the dung that come out of man.
Read.
In their sight. And Yahuwah said, eat it thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread.
What kind of bread?
Defiled bread.
Amongst who?
Amongst the...
He don't restore what happened with Esau and Jacob. He don't restore what happened with Joseph and his brothers. He hold on to the hate that he has towards his little brother. Awful. So he said, all that I have is yours. So both of the sons was using the father to hold where I will drive them. He said, our righteousness is what?
Filthy rags.
Filthy rags. So he was eating defiled bread among who? The Gentiles. He said that we was going to eat defiled bread amongst the Gentiles. Remember, he's filthy. He stinks the whole 9. And his father went straight to him, hugged him, kissed him, the whole nine. So it's just like Esau and Jacob. Same type of deal. Matthew chapter 5, verse 3.
Matthew 5 and 3. Increased is the poor in Ruach.
And what?
In Ruach.
Read.
For theirs is the kingdom of Shamaim.
Theirs is what?
The kingdom of Shamaim.
Theirs is the kingdom of Shamaim. Verse 6.
Increased are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness.
Thirst after what?
Righteousness.
In this game of life, you have to be hungry and thirst after righteousness. Hebrews 12 and 12.
Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 12. Wherefore lift up the hands they were taught. And this saying is commonly reported among the came to Galilee into ease, and make straight paths for your feet.
And make what paths?
Straight paths for your feet.
Because we're supposed to be going straight when we on this journey of life. But this boy is weak, hungry, coming back to him in filthy clothes. Isaiah 64, 6. Isaiah chapter 64, verse 6.
Isaiah chapter 64, verse 6. But we are all as an unclean thing.
As what?
An unclean thing.
We are all as an unclean thing. Read.
And all our righteousness are as filthy rags.
This is what?
And all our righteousness are as filthy rags.
So how do we get these filthy rags off? So when you take the filthy rags off, what do you put on? Shia. A new garment. So his son is coming back home in filthy rags, eating up his defiled bread amongst the Gentiles. Right? Give me Matthew 5:22.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 22. But I say to you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause,
Without what?
without a cause,
Without a cause. Read.
shall be in danger of the judgment. Whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, you fool, shall be in danger of hellfire.
Shall be in what?
Of hellfire.
So, do you think that he had love for his little brother? Let's see. Go back to Luke 15 and pick it up at verse 20. Pick it up at verse 20.
And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, the father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against Shamaim.
I did what?
I have sinned against Shamaim.
First you have to confess. You have to humbly. It didn't make them change because they still led the charge to get him killed. So they started out good, but they ended horrible. So again, in this race of life, it's not how you start, but how you finish. With that, we say shalom.
You like it, you love it, you hate it. Teach part 2 again after B turn. And B gotta teach. What we got? Oh, and if y'all think about it, the culmination of that story with it being the publicans and the Pharisees, think about the parable that he gave. When the 2 men went up and they prayed. One was a what? Publican. And the other one was a what? Pharisee. And
sinner.
He wouldn't, exactly. He was shamefaced, so to speak. And he beat on his chest and said, I'm but a sinner. And he went home justified. But the lying Pharisee, right, who said, I'm not like this guy. I don't do this. I don't do that. I don't do this. I don't do that. Dog went home what?
Justified.
Condemned.
What are we talking about that?
Yeah, Pharisee. So you got the dynamic of the two. You know what I'm saying? Constantly. Whenever you see the publicans pop up, who else was right there? Pharisees.
He said they always came and sat down with him and listened to him constantly.
He said it to his servants.
Wait a minute. He was supposed to say something else, right? He was supposed to say something like, I want to work for you and make it all right. But before he can finish it, the Father interrupts him and stops him. So what kind of work do he need to work off this punishment that he thinks that he should be under? What does he got to do? Nothing. He humbled himself. The whole thing, that my people, which is called by my name, would do what? Humble themselves. Then from Shammai would I hear. Just like when the man wanted to be cleansed of his leprosy, he told him, just go dip yourself in the river 7 times. What? Don't you want me to go run a marathon? Don't you want me to climb a mountain? No. Just go do what I told you to do. This is what it is. If you humble yourself, he will take you back. Nothing else. All the work part, throw it out. You're going to see this. Read that again.
But the Father said and the Son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against Shammai.
Confess.
And in your sight am no more worthy to be called your son.
Well, here's another one somebody just wrote. It says, Ruth 3 and 4, why did Naomi tell Ruth to uncover his feet?
Ruth 3 and 4, and it shall be when he lie down, that you shall mark the place where he shall lie, and you shall go in and uncover his feet, and lay you down, and he will tell you what you shall do.
I don't know exactly why. In his Father's name. All you got to do is show this ring. I work for Yahuwah. See that ring? I'm Yah. I'm his servant. The ring shows this. Right after he comes from doing all of this evil, all of this sinning that he's been doing, which piled all the way up to the Shammai, he comes back, humbles himself, confesses and humbles himself, and right here they are reconciled. This shows us that they are reconciled again, right here as well. Nothing to be done except humbling yourself and confessing. Read.
Put a ring on his hand, and shoes on his feet.
And what?
And shoes on his feet.
And shoes on his feet. So he's coming back home barefoot, walking from a far country from where he went. Read.
And bring here the fatted calf.
The what kind of calf?
The fatted calf.
A fatted calf.
The fatted calf.
What does this symbolize? The fatted calf. Not a, but the fatted fatted calf.
200 points.
Passover, atonement. Exactly. Ultimate fatted calf. All what you got in Genesis chapter 18. Turn this one up a little bit more. Here we go. All right. Okay. So give me Genesis 18, pick it up at verse 3.
Genesis 18:3. And said, my master, if now I have found favor in your sight, pass not away. I pray you from your servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched.
So this is when Yah and the two Malachims come down, right? So if you was about to feed them, what would you get for them?
Yes.
You go, as our DeLorean told us, he says that Kroger, Myers, and what's the other one, Art?
All these.
They got the best stuff. And all the other grocery store stuff is really...
No, not all of them.
No, what's the good ones?
Meyer, Kroger,
Meyer, Kroger, Walmart, Sam's Club. So, if you was going to get something in this day and time, you would need to go to one of these places. So, you wouldn't go to Save a Lot to get you. Y'all know the Save a Lot joints and all that, right? You ain't going to go there and get the stuff for him. You're going to get the best for him. Read on.
Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet. Rest yourselves under the tree, and I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort you your heart. After you shall pass on, for therefore are you come to your servant. And they said, so do as you have said. And Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah, and said, make me ready quick 3 measures of fine meal.
A what meal?
Fine meal.
Regular plain meal.
Fine meal.
The best meal. Read.
Knead it, and make cakes upon the herd. And Abraham ran unto the herd, and fetched a calf, tender and good.
What kind?
A calf, tender, young, and
This
good.
is the one, not the regular one. Get the best one, because this is for Yah and the Malachim right here. We can't get them the junk. We got to get them the best. Read.
And gave it unto a young man. And he hasted to dress it. And he took butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed it and set before them. And he stood by them under the tree. And they did eat.
And they did what?
And they did eat.
So he went and got the best for them. Not the second-hand stuff, but the best. Go back to Luke 15 and pick up where you left off at.
Luke chapter 15 at verse 22. But the father said to his servants, bring forth the best robe, put it on him, put a ring on his hand, shoes on his feet. Bring here the fatted calf and kill it, and let us eat and be merry.
And be what?
Be merry.
Read.
For this my son was dead.
He was what?
He was dead.
He said, this my son was dead. Why did he say that? He said, my son was dead. What you say, Martin? Spiritual dead? Let's see. Finish that out.
For this my son was dead and is alive again.
And is what?
And is alive
And
again.
is alive again. So, when he went and joined himself to the citizens of the place, that means he had to buy housing from them. But previously, he was a part of his father's house. He didn't have to do any of this stuff. So when you get housing from the system, what is it called that you take, what you pay a month? A mortgage. What's the root word to mortgage? What is it up? Dead. So when you did that mortgage, you're taking a pledge of death. So he's telling you, my son was a part of the system, and he came from in it. He was dead. Now he is alive because he's coming back to me. This is why y'all says you're in the world, but don't be of the world. So he was dead because he was in the system. Read.
And is alive again. He was lost and is found. They began to be married. Now his elder son was in the field.
Now his what?
Now his elder son was in the field.
So his elder son is in the field. Why is he in the field? But don't they have servants? They got servants. What is he doing in the field? Because he don't even see himself as a son. He sees himself as a servant or as a slave. We'll see in a minute. Read.
And now his elder son was in the field. And he came and drew near to the house. He heard music and dancing.
You heard what?
Music and dancing.
So he heard the music and the dancing going on. Read.
And he called one of the servants. And asked,
what?
One of the servants.
Only the person that should have been in the field as opposed to him. Read.
And asked, what thing these mean? And he said unto him, your brother is come.
Your what?
Your brother is come.
Your brother is come. Read.
And your father hath killed the fatted calf.
He did what?
Killed the fatted calf.
He killed the fatted calf. Read.
Because he hath received him safe and sound.
He have what?
Received him safe and sound.
He have received him safe and sound. If your brother went off and was in drugs and doing all types of foolishness or whatever, what's supposed to be your response to this?
Hallelujah. Where he at?
Jump for joy. The same thing how the father did. Run in the house. Oh my God, he back. He ain't on drugs. He ain't doing this stuff no more. Oh my brother. Supposed to be super duper ecstatic about this. Read.
He was angry.
He was what?
He was angry.
He was angry. This don't sound like a good brother. Even though he didn't go off, he stayed at home, he don't sound like a real good brother. I feel bad. I used to think that this brother was right. I used to feel kind of mad at the other brother and wondering, like, the father ain't fair in this situation. This ain't right. But I know better now. So who is this story actually about again? Let's go back to verse 1.
Luke 15:1. Then drew near unto him all the publicans.
All the who?
All the publicans.
All the publicans and who?
And sinners.
And who?
And sinners.
All the publicans and sinners, read.
For to hear him. And the Pharisees and the scribes murmured.
And the what?
The Pharisees and the scribes murmured.
So who is the sinners and the publicans in the story? Prodigal son. Who is the scribes and Pharisees in this story?
The brother that's always been
The big brother that's always been here. Keep that in mind. Go back to where you left off at.
Verse 28. And he was angry
party, right? Jump to verse 10.
Verse 10. Likewise, I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the Malachim of Elohim over one sinner that repent.
That what?
Over one sinner that repent.
So he don't wait till I get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 sinners. Every time one sinner repents, is joy where?
In the Shabbat.
So guess what? Every day, every hour of the day, somebody repents. So guess what's going on in the Shabbat all the time? Exactly. So he says, when one sinner repents, it's rejoicing in the Shabbat. Read. Matter of fact, go back to verse 28.
And he was angry and would not go in.
He would what?
Would not go in.
He would not go in. So Mashiach was going around dropping the word. He was inviting the scribes and Pharisees to come into the kingdom all the time. But they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't come in. Right now, this boy is too proud to come in. So when you can't be happy for other people, this shows something that you have a flaw inside. So if they tell you that, yo, such and such got the job, bro, you making $35 an hour. And inside, you get the sour face, something wrong with you. Straight up, that's good for him. Woo, you know, all the stuff he be doing, wow, must be nice.
Hey, what did he get close to the box last week? Promoted now?
Something wrong with you. Ooh. Hold that. Get me Genesis. Get me Genesis chapter 20, verse 17. So again, if you can't be happy for somebody else's success, yeah, you got that thing in you.
Genesis chapter 20, verse 17. So Abraham prayed unto Elohim, and Elohim healed Abimelech.
He did what?
Healed Abimelech.
He healed Abimelech. Who was Abimelech? King of the Philistines. What couldn't happen with them at this point? He couldn't have children. Read.
And Abraham prayed unto Elohim, and healed Abimelech, and his wife, and his maidservant, and they bare children.
And they did what?
They bare children.
Now this is before Sarah gets pregnant. So most of the women would be like, you out there praying for them and we ain't even got nothing.
You ain't even praying for me.
So right here is showing that Abraham is praying for them to bring forth a seed even though theirs ain't there yet. I ain't praying for them. We ain't even got no kids yet. He ain't do that.
Your priorities messed up, Abraham.
But right after this, Genesis chapter 21.
And Yahuwah visited Sarah, as he said, and Yahuwah did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived.
And she what?
Sarah conceived.
And Sarah conceived. So right after he prayed for something that he don't even have himself, y'all come and fulfill what he told him that he was going to fulfill. This is being happy for somebody else's success and not having that thing in you. Go back.
Luke 15:28. And he was angry and would not go in. Therefore came his father out and entreated him. And he answering said to his father, Lo, these many years do I serve you.
These what?
These many years do I serve you.
These many years do I serve you. Read.
Neither transgressed I at any time your commandment.
He said, all men have sinned and come short of the esteem of Yah. What is he doing right here? He's lying. But Mashiach says, I don't have to, a person that's not whole don't need a physician. I come to those who are sick, or the sick come to me. The publicans and sinners always came around him because they recognized that they was what? They recognized that they were sick. But when you're a scribe and a Pharisee and you think that you are perfect and right in everything, you don't even recognize that you're sick. So you can't get healed. Because the pride in you won't allow you to actually recognize your own faults, where you can humble yourself. Read.
And yet you never gave me a kid.
You what?
You never gave me a kid.
You never gave me a kid. You never gave me a goat. You got the fatted calf for him, and you ain't never gave me even a goat. Why? Read.
That I may make merry with my friend.
Read.
But as soon as this son was coming.
But as soon as what?
As soon as this your son was coming.
As soon as my brother come back.
As soon as this your son was coming.
Wow, he ain't even my brother, now it's your son.
Maybe you ain't got the same mother.
Soon as your son come back,
Your son pop up.
now it's all good. Just showing you his character. He ain't happy that his brother is back. He's been with the father the whole time, but he got ulterior motives. He's doing the right thing for the wrong reasons, which makes it null and void. It means absolutely nothing. Read.
But as soon as this your son was coming, which devoured your living with harlots.
With what?
With harlots.
With devoured your living with harlots.
Because he's single.
Now, I want to make sure y'all see, why didn't they go get him in the first place? Why would, as soon as the son got back, then they say, hey, sit out there and go get your brother, man. Let him know he's back. No, I'm saying, when the younger son comes back, why didn't they send to the field to tell him, your brother is home? They already know that he wouldn't be happy about it. His character is on display. He wouldn't be happy about it anyway. Because he got this, he's a Pharisee. He's one of these people. Read.
But as soon as your son was coming, which I devoured your living with harlots, you have killed for him the fatted calf.
You did what?
You killed for him the fatted calf.
You killed for him the fatted calf. Not the regular one, but the special one. Read.
He said unto him, Son, you are ever with me, and all that I have is yours.
Is what?
Is yours.
And all that I have is what?
Yours.
Is yours. You telling him the truth. He already gave his son his inheritance. Everything else is yours. All the cows or stuff is yours. But he can't even see it because he's blinded by hate. He says, if you don't forgive your brother, then the Heavenly Father won't what? He won't forgive you. He has no brotherly love. He don't restore what happened with Cain and Abel. He don't restore what happened with Esau and Jacob. He don't restore what happened with Joseph and his brothers. He hold on to the hate that he has towards his little brother. Awful. So he said, all that I have is yours. So both of the sons was using the father the whole time. One was just up front with it. The other one was behind the scenes, actually hoping the same thing. I'm here for a free ride. As long as you're alive, I'm here. Once you do eventually die, I get the stuff. Both of these sons was wicked, but only one repented. So So the younger son is actually better than the oldest son. It's not about how you start, but how you finish. Read the last verse.
It was sufficient that we should make merry and be glad, for your brother was dead and is alive again, and was lost and is found.
That's the last verse. Read it one more time.
Well, I'll start at verse 31. And he said unto him, Son, you are ever with me, and all that I have is yours. It was sufficient that we should make merry and be glad. For this your brother was dead, and is alive again, and was lost, and is found.
So, what do you think happened with the father and this son? He made up with him too? That's what you think?
I think he did like Cain did, but well known.
So who was the oldest son?
The one who stayed first.
He stayed at first, but he showed that he wasn't the publicans and sinners, he was what?
Pharisees, Sadducees.
The Pharisees and Sadducees. Only one Pharisee besides Paul actually took the invite by name. Anybody know what it is? Nicodemus. The only one. He says, unless your righteousness exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall in no wise what? Enter into the kingdom. He invited them to come in, but he what? He didn't go in. Give me Matthew 28, 14. He don't finish the story because it was still being written.
Matthew 28, verse 14. And if this come to the governor's ears, we will persuade him and secure you. So they took the money and did as they were taught. And this saying is commonly reported among the Jews unto this day, that the 11 disciples went away into Galilee, into a mountain where Mashiach had appointed them. And when they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. Mashiach came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in Shamaim.
Hold on one second. My bad, 27. Pick it up at verse 14.
Matthew 27, verse 14. And he answered him never a word, insomuch that the governor marveled greatly. Now at the feast, the governor was wont to release unto the people a prisoner, whom they would. And they had a notable prisoner, called Barabbas. Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, whom will you that I release unto you? Barabbas, or Mashiach, or Yeshua, which is called Mashiach? For he knew that for envy they had delivered him. When he was set down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, have you nothing to do with this just man? For I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. But the chief priests and the elders persuaded the multitude. But the who? But the chief priests and the elders persuaded the multitude.
He said the chief priests and the elders. None of the scribes and the Pharisees was a part of this?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Absolutely. They was a part of it. Remember, he invited them in. Read.
That they should ask Barabbas and destroy Yeshua. The governor answered and said unto them, whether of the two will you that I release to you? They said Barabbas. Pilate said unto them, What shall I do then with this Yeshua, which is called Mashiach? They all said unto him, Let him be crucified. And the governor said, Why? What evil have he done? And they cried out the more, saying,